If you traveled back billions of years, before oceans, before continents, before life, and looked across the early solar system, you might have seen two worlds that looked almost identical. Same neighborhood, similar size, similar ingredients. If someone asked you which one becomes home and which one becomes hell, you probably wouldn't choose correctly, because one of those planets became Earth and the other became Venus. And the strangest part is, Venus wasn't supposed to become this. It wasn't born as a nightmare. It wasn't created to be impossible. For a long time, Venus may have looked far more familiar than people realize, and that raises a strange question. If Earth and Venus started so similarly, why did one become a world full of oceans, while the other became a place that destroys almost anything that reaches it? The answer starts with something that didn't look dangerous at all. Heat. Not extreme heat, not fire, not disaster. Just slightly more heat. Most people think they already know Venus. It's the hottest planet. End of story. But that explanation misses the entire point. Because Venus isn't terrifying because it's hot. Mercury exists. Venus isn't terrifying because it's dangerous. Space is full of dangerous places. Venus is disturbing because it shouldn't feel familiar. But somehow, it does. Venus is almost Earth's size. Its gravity isn't dramatically different. Its rocky structure isn't unusual. If someone only showed you the numbers, you might assume Venus became another Earth. And maybe, for a while, that future actually existed. Imagine standing on ancient Venus. Clouds, rock, warm atmosphere. Maybe not paradise, but not impossible. Not yet. Then time passes. Millions of years. And something small begins changing. Heat rises. A little. Nothing dramatic. No explosions. No warning. But planets don't announce when they start changing. They just keep moving. Until one day, the future looks different. People usually explain Venus in one sentence. Venus is hotter because it's closer to the sun. Sounds reasonable, except Mercury is closer and Mercury is cooler. That shouldn't happen, which means distance isn't the full answer. Something else happened. Imagine wrapping Earth in a blanket. Heat escapes slower. Now add another, then another, then another. Eventually, more heat stays than leaves. That's where Venus begins. Scientists think Venus may once have had something Earth still has today. Water. Maybe not oceans, maybe not beaches, but enough to matter. And water changes everything. Water controls weather, temperature, clouds, atmosphere, planetary future. But water has another property. Water traps heat. That sounds harmless. Until more heat creates more evaporation. More evaporation traps more heat. More trapped heat creates more warming. And suddenly, the system starts feeding itself again and again and again. Until eventually, the planet stops controlling the process. That moment changes everything. Because once enough heat stays trapped, the system accelerates. The hotter Venus became, the easier it became to become even hotter. At that point, Venus stopped needing help. The planet started changing itself, and slowly, Earth's twin disappeared. Not physically, but permanently. As temperatures climbed, more water entered the atmosphere, higher, closer to sunlight. And then, something happened. Sunlight began breaking water apart. Hydrogen, oxygen, separated. Hydrogen escaped forever. Think about that. Venus wasn't just heating up, it was losing recovery. That changes the story, because heat can go down. Storms can end, clouds can disappear. But once a planet starts losing the ingredients that make recovery possible, the future changes, slowly, then permanently. And over millions of years, Venus stopped cooling. That sentence sounds simple, but it changed everything. Because once Venus crossed that line, there was no second chance, no reset, no return. The atmosphere thickened, heat stayed, pressure increased, and eventually, the world became trapped. But what happened next was even stranger. Because Earth formed nearby. Earth had atmosphere, Earth had heat, Earth had water. So why didn't Earth become Venus too? That question changed everything. And the answer might be more uncomfortable than people expect. Earth wasn't guaranteed to survive. That's the part nobody tells you. When people talk about Earth, they talk like this outcome was inevitable. Like oceans were always going to appear. Like life was always going to happen. Like Earth was always supposed to become Earth. But that's not how planets work. Earth wasn't destined. It was lucky. And Venus may be the proof. If Earth and Venus formed so close together, why didn't both worlds end the same way? For a long time, People assumed the answer was simple. Distance. Earth is farther. Venus is closer. Problem solved. Except that explanation doesn't survive very long, because the distance difference isn't enough to explain two worlds this different. Something else mattered, and strangely, that answer may exist beneath our feet. Not in the sky, not in the oceans, inside Earth itself. Earth accidentally built something extraordinary. A thermostat, not mechanical, not design, geological. When Earth warms, rain increases. That rain slowly removes carbon from the atmosphere. That carbon gets stored, locked away. Over huge periods of time, Earth balances itself. Too warm, it slowly cools. Too cold, it slowly warms. Not instantly, not perfectly, but enough to survive, enough to stay stable. That's the strange part. Earth isn't stable because nothing changes. Earth is stable because everything changes. Venus lost that. And once scientists realized that, the entire story changed. Because suddenly, Venus stopped being just another planet. It became a warning, not because Earth becomes Venus tomorrow. That's not realistic, but because Venus proved something uncomfortable. Planetary conditions are not permanent. Worlds can change, atmospheres can shift, and once certain lines are crossed, going back becomes difficult, sometimes impossible. That realization became even stranger when humanity actually went there. For centuries, people imagined Venus completely differently. Dense forests, warm oceans, maybe even life. Because from Earth, Venus looked beautiful, bright, smooth, cloud-covered, almost peaceful. Then we stopped imagining and started measuring. Temperature, atmosphere, pressure, everything pointed to one conclusion. Something had gone catastrophically wrong. But scientists wanted proof, so humanity did something insane. We tried landing there. Think about that. Build a machine, send it across space, then ask it to survive somewhere hotter than Mercury. And somehow, we succeeded. For a moment, imagine descending through Venus. Clouds, light, thicker atmosphere, pressure rising, heat increasing, everything becoming darker, heavier. Then, the surface appears, and for the first time, humanity sees Venus. No oceans, no movement, no forests, just rock, heat, silence, a world that looked abandoned. And then, the machines started dying. Not explosions, not impact. They simply couldn't continue. Pressure, temperature, failure, signal lost, mission over. That moment changed something, because suddenly, Venus stopped feeling like science fiction. It became real, a place, a world, a future. And then astronomy made everything stranger. We started discovering thousands of planets, worlds everywhere, and among them, Earth-sized worlds. At first, that sounded exciting. More Earths, more chances for life. Then somebody realized something uncomfortable. Venus is Earth-sized too. And look what happened. That changed the question. People stopped asking, how many Earths exist? And started asking, how many stayed Earth? That question still doesn't have a complete answer. Because maybe Earth isn't common. Maybe Earth is unusual. Maybe stable worlds are rare. And if that's true, then suddenly, this place becomes more extraordinary than we thought. Sometimes I think about another civilization, somewhere far away, living on another world, looking into their sky, trying to understand why their planet changed, studying another nearby world, the way we study Venus, wondering how that world got lucky, because from the right distance, Earth and Venus don't look that different. Two bright worlds, same star, similar size, completely different endings. One became a place where oceans survived, where life appeared, where someone eventually looked up and asked questions. The other became a place that traps heat, holds pressure, and hides its history beneath clouds. And maybe that's what makes Venus unforgettable. Not because it became hell, but because, for a long time, it might not have been. Two planets, similar beginnings, different endings. One became home, the other became hell. And we just happened to live on the one that kept cooling.